Hey everyone, you're listening to Nerd Boys Comic Blog. I'm Marco.
I'm Charles.
And today we're doing News Corner.
News Corner?
News Corner! We're going to talk about 3 different topics. 1, Brian Michael Bendis leaving Marvel. 2, 20th Century Fox possibly being bought out by Disney. And 3, mystery one, so you have to find out the end.
Let's do it. Do you want to start in that order?
Yeah, in that order.
Okay, I'm finally happy that it's happening.
So, we're talking about Brian Michael Bendis leaving Marvel.
Yes.
And jumping ship to DC. When you started reading comics last year.
Yes, when I hardcore started reading comics.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't say his name was on everything, but what I did read that his name was on was very powerful. Like, I came in around the time Civil War Civil War 2, I'm sorry. Civil War 2 was taking place in DC Rebirth. But one of the most recent things he did before that was Incredible Iron Man. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to start Invincible, I'm sorry. I'm going to start off reading that. Read that. Wonderful. Like, and of course he created Miles Morales, did pretty much most of the Ultimate Universe. And it was just like, I know him as being like, I would almost say he's like up there where like he would be like the Alex Ross of writing for Marvel. Yeah,
because for like 15 years he was the big architect.
Yeah.
Of every Marvel event, every big like continuity shift, it was like Brian Michael Bendis. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because he oftentimes ignores continuity altogether.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when things don't work out for his stories.
Yeah.
And I won't say he as great as Jonathan Hickman, but he's just as good.
Yeah, in his heyday.
Don't mind that. That's Andrea playing Minecraft Survivor Mode.
Yeah. In his heyday, Brian Michael Bendis, he created Ultimate Spider-Man. He did Miles Morales. He wrote everything from like Avengers Disassembled, House of M, Secret Invasion, Dark Reign, Avengers vs. X-Men, Age of Ultron. He basically formed everything coming out of Marvel from the early 2000s. And for better or worse, he was that guy who made pretty much what we imagine Marvel to be today. And, you know, now he's gone. One of their biggest creative minds is now gone. And arguably, he has really been on tough times lately, and his stories haven't been that great. But he did do a great job with Infamous Iron Man. Jessica Jones was back. Defenders was starting up, and now that's going to probably be canceled or just moved on to another writer. But now it's like, ever since 2013, like his X-Men run, his Guardians of the Galaxy run, everyone got tired of Bendis.
You know, and it's like Alex Ross doing covers for Spider-Man. It's nice at first, but then when it's just so congested, like, and it's thrown in your face, it's like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. Like, can I get something new? And I mean, I hate to be mean, but like, he was like one of the best writers for Marvel.
Yeah.
Compared to, along with Jonathan Hickman, he just did Secret War, and that was it.
He did a bunch of Avengers stuff and
Fantastic but I mean, that was the last thing he did for Marvel.
Yeah.
Then, what is his name? Who did Captain America?
Nick Spencer.
Yes, Nick Spencer. Like, great with Captain America and Thor.
Mark Waid. Jason Aaron. Doing Thor.
And it's like, yeah, those were the best writers, and then everything else, I hate to be mean, but it was like, it wasn't that great. And it's because like Marvel don't care about their writers, and when Marvel don't care, I mean, like, it's like when your boss don't care about, like, you know, you working at the job, it's like, well, we're just doing enough to get by. And everything was just, I can understand the weight was so heavy on him to like, hey, write this, because I mean, look at Civil War 2. 9 times out of 10 he did not want to write that.
Yeah.
That was thrown at him, and I think that was the final straw. And he was just like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to just put in my 2 months, and then that's going to be it.
Or his 2 years.
Yes.
His 2-year notice. Because a lot of Civil War 2 feels like copy and paste. Similar story beats from his New Avengers run. Similar beats from like different crossover events. And it just feels like bare bones, lazy work from him. And this might have been like his letter of resignation.
Yeah.
Where he's just like, yeah, I'm not really going to care for this next year or 2. I'm going to let time run out, and then I could leave my contract with Marvel and just go on to DC.
And honestly, I know that contract with DC is, I mean, I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, Justice League right now, like the plain Justice League Rebirth title, that could use some Bendis.
Yeah.
Anything, Green Lantern, Blue Beetle, a lot of great stuff could come from Bendis.
You know what? Green Lantern, I mean, it's good now. Jeff Johns, he did very well with Green Lantern. I don't think we need to worry about that anytime soon. And like the stories that they're getting out, they're still good. But it's one of those things where it's like the way business work. When everyone else hears about it, that means that like, oh no, everything has been finalized. This has been going on for like probably a year now.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes you wonder, like, if it's been going on for that long, some moves have been made for him to come. And it's like, what is his big plan? What story is he writing?
Or it could just be like a kind of like a personal thing for him. Maybe
Fucking
maybe not personal, but it could have been something like just work-wise, like maybe Marvel wasn't letting him do something.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe the people he was working with he just didn't like anymore.
But I feel like there's more to it.
Yeah.
I feel like think about it. DC right now, they run the comic book scene, and it's honestly, it's only getting better. Like, we're waiting for Doomsday Clock. We got 6 pages. We're flipping out about that. I mean, we're wondering if there's going to be like, a second Rebirth issue. Like, whatever's going on right now, everyone is loving it. And to bring a powerful writer as him to the team, like, what else can go wrong? I mean, right now it's to the point, I feel like it's like 90s Bulls that's taking place.
So you have Jeff Johns, you have Tom King.
Yes.
Now Bendis, as well as like a bunch of other great writers, Scott Snyder.
And I wouldn't be surprised if, like, a little bit later from now, you start to hear that, like, they might be like, you know what? We have all these good writers. What good artists do we need over here?
Yeah, and then they poach a bunch of Marvel artists.
Yeah.
Or just indie artists in general.
I mean, yeah. But I mean, I feel like, Alex Ross is going to be coming over soon.
I don't think he's ever signed an exclusivity contract, because he does covers and artwork for everyone.
He's going to be signing one soon.
Yeah.
I
I think he loves doing the Star Wars ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as long as he could do a mural or a big painting of like Star Wars or Hanna-Barbera cartoons, because I noticed he did a few of those. Star Trek, Marvel, DC. He loves doing it all.
And I think he's just at his point in his life now. He's like, people know my work. I'm just now doing this for fun. Like,
Yeah. I mean, he had billboards in Times Square this past Comic-Con.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's how much he's making.
You know what I would love for him to do? I wish he was doing Doomsday Clock.
Oh. No, but I love Gary Franks.
No, I mean, it's good. I'm not saying like there's anything wrong with it, but just like seeing Alex Ross just like do his way of drawing, because I love it. Like, honestly, when I read Kingdom Come, that right there was just one of those books that, like, I would say changed my life.
Yeah.
About comic books. It was just like, yeah, I'm into comic books, reading that. I'm like, whoa, okay. Even though it's Elseworlds, it's still pretty amazing. But yeah, Brian Michael Bendis coming over to DC. I want to know what his first project is.
Yeah. But I'm also worried that he's such a creative mind. I'm worried that he'll have conflict with Jeff Johns, and I wonder if there's going to be a power struggle.
I doubt that. I mean, I feel like with Jeff Johns bringing him over, he knows what kind of artist he is, and it's just like, I'm gonna let you do you, but like, I feel like he's going to give him a few characters who, like, literally there's nothing going on with them, and he's just going to bring like new life to them.
Yeah. I mean, he already said he has so much creativity. He has a bunch of ideas to bring to DC. I'm just hoping this brings back some of the old Bendis, and not more of the same Bendis we have now.
I wonder. I honestly wonder if we might get like a new Blue Beetle book by Brian Michael Bendis.
I think everyone's assuming like Blue Beetle because he's so close to Ultimate Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and like just a bunch of other characters that he's worked on before. But there's also a possibility that he could just create his own new character, like a new Green Lantern, like our 7th new Green Lantern of Earth. Or
you know what? I mean, yeah, or like with Jeff Johns, like, I mean, he can literally pick up where he left off with, like, everything that's going on in, like, the Green Lantern universe. I mean, the stories that's going on now, they're not bad, but they're not Jeff Johns.
Yeah, but, Bendis is going to ignore whatever run came before him.
I mean, I don't think Jeff Johns will let that happen.
He'll be like, read this whole thing, understand the continuity.
Like,
be Scott Snyder for once.
It's like this. It's like, it's really nice that, you have all these nice abilities, but you got to remember what planet you're on. It's like when Hulk, when he went to Sakaar, like, oh no, he is the Incredible Hulk, but yeah, you're not so incredible with everyone else here. So let's just see what happens. I believe they're gonna start him off with a character that, like, we've honestly forgotten about. And you know what I wouldn't be surprised about? If they gave him a Shazam book.
Yeah, because they haven't had Shazam, Captain Marvel working like a solo title for him. They've had like 0 issues. They've had the Justice League, but not a Shazam book.
And I wouldn't be surprised, because I mean, have he even been like mentioned in all, like, since Rebirth?
No, I think just once, and that's in Metal.
Yeah.
Because that was the Wizard Shazam. That was his introduction.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where this would be the perfect time to be like, you know, what's been going on with like Shazam / Billy Batson all this time. Bam. Like, just have Bendis like, hey, you know, let me tell you the story of like what's been going on with Billy this entire time. And it could be something that, like, you know, like for instance, like with Batman Metal, Bendis could literally go over all of New 52 and be like, okay, these little things that people have been seeing and noticing that like people thought, oh, maybe it is something, maybe it's not, or whatever. He can work off that and be like, oh, no, Billy has some, you know, played some part in that, or he was around with these certain things, but he was told not to participate by Shazam. And I mean, with Metal going on, you could easily like tie that in with that. I'm excited to see what's going on with Brian Michael Bendis. His first run with whatever he does, I just want to check it out.
Definitely. And you heard it here first, guys. We're predicting Brian Michael Bendis is going to work on Shazam.
Yeah. Shazam, Blue Beetle, possibly Justice League. I don't think he's going to hit any big projects unless it has something to do with... Now, I don't think he's going to touch Rebirth just yet.
It'll either be like a really obscure character,
yeah,
or one of the characters who hasn't been used in a while, like Martian Manhunter,
yeah,
Shazam.
Because, I mean, Martian Manhunter... For that character to be who he is, we haven't seen. I mean, like,
oh, he could also do like a really gritty detective story for Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, or Question.
Yeah, I mean, he could just do the Jessica Jones treatment for Martian Manhunter. Or Question, that would be a great one. Or Rorschach.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that'd be
there's so many
nice
possibilities.
Yeah, but next topic.
Next topic. All right, so something that kind of got squashed this week, but also started up this week. Disney possibly buying out 20th Century Fox. Not like Fox as a whole, but just the movie side of things, which would obviously give them the rights to X-Men.
Yes.
And the Fantastic Four.
Do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
You can go first because I have stuff to say later.
Okay. When I heard the news earlier today, I won't lie, I was excited. And it's not for the sake of just Disney getting the right, Disney / Marvel getting the rights back to its characters, but to see everything that they've built on up until now be expanded. We're at a point where, I mean, there's more stories to be told. I mean, the characters they introduce and the characters they have right to, there's still much more material from comic books that you can go off of and you can edit in any kind of way. But the thing that I was really looking forward to is seeing X-Men, Fantastic Four being introduced into the family. Right now, I mean, we could do good without them, but it would be nice to have them all back. And Fox, you're assholes. That's all I have to say. You should have just went ahead or made some partnership like Universal where it was like, okay, or do like Sony. We'll let you use all the characters. Just that, hey, everything that you do, make sure there's a big Fox signal over it and we're getting money. Because, I mean, it's getting to a point, yes, us comic book fans are going to continuously go to the movies to see these X-Men movies, see the spin-offs. We can't help it. It's what we are drawn to. And even if you're not a comic book fan and you're just a fan of comic book characters and you like seeing these movies and stories play out, we're still going to contribute our money to it. But I wish that as for fans, they would just unite in some kind of way. There's enough room for everybody. There's enough room and money for everybody.
Yeah. So now here's my 2 cents.
Okay.
Where, logically, within the MCU, could they possibly introduce the X-Men and Fantastic Four? I think it'll still be separate. Because right now, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, everything's been pretty organic and it's been built upon fairly well. Fantastic Four could be easily introduced as like a family that went into space during the 60s and they went through a wormhole. Now they're back in like 2018 or something. X-Men, it's a little bit hard to explain because why are there mutants all of a sudden when there haven't been mutants before? And
they were on the moon.
Yeah. Oh my God. No, they weren't humans. I heard a theory that could explain away like X-Men were wiped out during the 60s when the government had invented a legacy virus and suddenly there's a resurgence of mutants again. And that's kind of like a flimsy explanation of why there are no mutants in present day. But it's also like, oh, I'll take it. Or there could be like a dimensional rift and X-Men were comics in the MCU, and now like the comic book characters of the X-Men are now in the universe, and they have all their costumes.
That's some comic book type stuff.
That is.
That is like I don't think like I would say the average consumer would be able to like hop on board for that.
Yeah, or you just don't try to explain it at all, and you just say, "Hey, X-Men are here now."
What I was planning on doing was, I mean, as I think would probably be a good idea, you can easily explain that, like, let's go along with the legacy virus that happened, that died out. Then during the 60s, one of the first children that were born shown signs of like, in some kind of way, maybe had an extra toe or whatnot.
So small mutants, small mutations.
Small mutations. And it could actually show that, like, okay, this, like, legacy virus didn't eliminate all of the mutants, or, like, okay, eliminate the current generation of mutants, but more are being born because the X factor is something that you can never really get rid of. And it could have been a thing where they could have been kept in hiding, and then a secret organization, someone even more secret than S.H.I.E.L.D., have been hunting them down. I mean, well, everyone knows about S.H.I.E.L.D., but it could be something like, strap, shield strap. Like, they're more like, you see the shield, but you don't know about the strap behind the shield. They're a secret organization who's been going out there hunting mutants, and mutants have been having to play secrecy this entire time. And you could easily be like, well, Scarlet Witch, they're really mutants.
Yeah, they had the X gene. We experimented with them a little bit to activate their X gene.
And it just so happened, like, the Infinity Stone that they were playing around with was what activated the X gene.
Yeah, maybe something about the brain, because that was the Mind Stone that they used.
Yeah, could be
some flimsy explanation just to be like, X-Men are here now.
Yeah, and it could be like, and you can always just use that, hey, Professor Xavier, he's been trying to keep mutants hidden this entire time because he knows what's going to happen and knows what goes on. I mean, to me, I think it could be plausible.
Yeah, or just the whole, after Infinity War, the whole universe is different.
Yeah.
Everything's different now. Like, we go back to Earth and it's like, when have mutants been here? Oh, the whole time. What are you, losing your mind, Tony?
Or whatever movie takes place after Infinity War.
Or Skrulls.
Yeah.
Just explain it away with Skrulls.
Yeah, just be like, oh no, Skrulls kept everything hidden.
Yeah, I don't know. But then you have the Inhumans. You have to explain away the Inhumans so that mutants could be a big thing.
Technically you don't, because it's a TV show that no one's watching.
Yeah, that's true. And no one really cares about them anyway.
It could
Even
be
in
like
the comics.
Yeah, it could be like the iPhone 5 SE. Like, everyone knew it existed, but no one really remembered.
Exactly.
Like, what, was that a thing? Like, yeah, it was.
Yeah, Inhumans could be like a footnote within the MCU.
Yeah, like, I mean, you can say, hey, I mean, because, like, for instance, and it was funny because I heard, who was it that I was listening to? I can't remember. They were talking about, like, for instance, how is it that everything that happens in, like, the Defenders show, like, between the 4 Defenders, it never caught wind of any Avenger whatsoever?
Especially Tony.
The fact that there was a hole being dug in New York and earthquakes were happening in a place where there's no earthquake supposed to be happening, and no Avenger or S.H.I.E.L.D. or whatever organization that they work for, New Avengers, nobody found anything weird with that. It didn't hop on anybody's radar.
It's kind of a flimsy explanation, but in Homecoming, Tony gave no mind to Vulture. I think it's just so low under the radar. The Defenders is even lower than Vulture in, like, the radar.
I guess when you fight aliens from another universe that is coming out of a freaking wormhole, everything else is just like
small potatoes.
It's not even small potatoes. They're just sunflower seeds. That's just how pathetic they feel like everything else is.
I'll let the intern handle it.
Yes, I'll let the intern handle it. Oh, what? They don't have no special ability? Give them one of my suits laying around. Have them using like the original Iron Man suit. How is this thing even still functional? Don't care. Use that to handle whatever threat is going on in New York City. And then, I'm sorry, but even the Punisher and his axe should have caught wind on someone's radar.
No one cares too much about New York anymore. It's all the world. It's a global issue.
Okay. Yeah, I guess.
Or that's like the Avengers caring about, I don't know, the Inhumans in Hawaii. No one cares about the Inhumans.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that there's a guy out there that's bulletproof and, has super strength, or there's a guy who can tell somebody something, they have to do it regardless of if they want to or not, I guess it's not a problem. But then again, one guy, he's English and the other one is black, so I guess it's okay. But hopefully they bring these universes together.
Yeah, eventually. But how could you imagine Deadpool in a Disney movie?
And let's be, Deadpool you never know. Look at Netflix.
Oh, it's true.
I think it's one of those things where I believe they'll be willing enough to be like, nope, I take that back. They won't. That's why everything fell through with Han Solo. Because there's no one who can sit there and probably be like, oh, okay, let's do what Disney do. Like, no, Disney have certain restrictions on how they want things. And I guess, I mean, let's not lie. The two, well, I guess they're brothers who did the Lego movie.
No, it's Lord and Miller. They're friends, not brothers.
Okay, they're best friends. So probably close enough to be brothers. I mean, think about it. They probably had all creative rights to like the Batman Lego, both the Lego movie and the Batman Lego movie.
I think that was they wrote a draft, but Chris McKay directed Batman Lego Batman.
Oh, okay.
And he's also going to do Nightwing.
Ooh, Lego Nightwing?
Regular Nightwing.
Oh, so we're going to get Dick Grayson in tights.
Yep.
Wait a minute, the movie?
A movie. So he's going to be in Titans and a movie.
Yeah, and the guy they chose for Titans, I'm not gay, but he's pretty sexy.
Yeah. What's his name from Red Ranger from Power Rangers?
Yeah.
The movie. He's teasing that he's Dick Grayson in the movies.
Oh, wow. I guess they're not doing another Power Rangers movie then.
No, guess not.
Speaking of which, he was actually in Stranger Things.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I feel like we need to discuss something about that.
Yeah, we might have an episode about that coming out.
Yeah, maybe soon.
Teasing the next episode before this one's even over.
But do you want to talk about the secret topic?
The secret topic, the third final topic.
Yes.
Which I'm sure if you looked in the descriptions, you would have found it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not much of a secret. Don't put it in the description. Have people wait until the very end.
I'll put time code secret third topic.
They click on it. Oh, it's just this. Oh, forget it. But let's go ahead and just break the ice.
All right. Zachary Levi has been cast as Shazam.
Which I'm cool with.
Yeah. I could imagine it was Captain Marvel.
No, you couldn't.
Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel. And then some little Disney star.
We don't even know his name, and we're not even going to waste time trying to figure this out. Like, let's be honest.
No, I remember his name. It's something Angel. It's
Zachary Levy.
Archer Angel, something like that. Angel Archer.
Angel Grove.
But he's a Disney star. So.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends. Like, he might go somewhere with this, might not. We never know. But he already got Disney money, so he has nothing to worry about.
Yeah, he's set until college.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. We're not going to remember him because how often will he actually be on screen?
We don't even know the take they're really going with this Shazam movie. He could be like 50-50 with Zachary Levi.
That'll suck for Zachary Levi.
I mean, not really, because you do have to set up the origin of Billy Batson.
Yeah,
finding the wizard,
showing him as a great kid, loved by everyone. Giving a few hobos some, food and, shelter. Give him a few blankets. Then, he's getting chased. Something bad happens. He fall down the sewer. Bam, he sees this wizard Shazam, grant him powers, becomes Shazam, and there you go. And then the first guy he fights is Black Adam.
Yeah, because this kid is not going to be in, any team up with, the Justice League. They're just going to go with Zachary Levi the whole time.
And the crazy thing, this is supposed to be, in continuity, but not really. Yeah,
because I saw it's Warner Brothers and New Line Cinema. Instead of just Warner Brothers.
And that's kind of weird. And I guess Warner Brothers probably haven't really gotten together. Their whole maybe we can make this work by adding a sense of light for this character. And New Line Cinema, every time I think of them, I just think of horror movies.
Or Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. But then also, it's when you think of think about it, the DC EU.
Oh, that's...
I know, it's not really real.
It's not a real thing.
It's whatever, that's what I'm going to keep calling it. Have you really seen any children in it?
Let's see. There was that one time when I think Superman might have saved a kid once.
Well, let's talk about
Superman was a kid once in his life.
Yeah, that was probably the only time you see children is when they're being shown. The heroes are being shown
on that
in
bus.
Flashbacks. But other than that, you don't really see them. These heroes.
Batman saved a kid during the Kryptonian invasion.
Oh yeah, that one little girl.
And all those Robins that walked by.
But it don't mean anything because he killed so many people. Yeah. Yeah. But this kid, I seen the picture. I guess he'll be okay as Billy Batson.
Yeah, he looks like a scrappy orphan. He could play that.
Yeah, I don't care too much about him. Zachary Levi, I would never get the thought of Chuck out of my head. because I used to watch that show. So now it's one of those things where I have to wonder, is he going to get buff for this role?
I mean, I'm sure he has like at least 4 months before filming, maybe less.
4 months?
Probably.
Okay, first of all, when I say he's going to have to get buff for this role,
well, you don't even know what he looks like right now. He could have been in the gym for the past 3 months.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I only remember him as Chuck. And the last time I did see him in something, he was Chuck with a beard. So it's going to take some serious like workout. And I'm wondering like if he have been like all this time going to the gym working out. And even then, there's no pictures of him on the internet.
Yeah.
Like, no one has been like, hey, man, Zachary Levi been getting lean. Like, no.
Unless we are not paying attention to his Instagram. Because I'm sure...
I don't follow him. You know what? I'm finna search him up on Instagram.
Okay.
Keep going.
While you're searching him, I'm sure this whole deal was struck like months ago. So he had time between now and then to go to the gym to get like some kind of personal trainer. And you know how Hollywood is with their actors. They really get buff within like no time at all. Because Tessa Thompson, she gained like 15 pounds of muscle just to play Valkyrie, like a side character who really had little to no effect in Thor Ragnarok, but was still a fun character.
Everything is like face shots and it looked like...
So they're saving the big reveal for maybe Justice League?
I guess so. And like he got this one picture, he's been eating pizza and sushi, so that's probably a cheat meal or something to help him buff up.
It's probably carb heavy or something.
Yeah, so...
Is that fan art?
Yeah, it's fan art of him as Shazam. So we don't really know how he looks.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, like, unless he's been, like, heavily... Which, I mean, in Hollywood, you do have those, you know, specialized personal trainers where they're like, no. We're going to get you 60 pounds of muscle in, like, 3 days. Like, how is this possible? Just watch. 3 days later... I'm the Hulk. Like, I can see that happen. So we just have to see the reveal, see if it works.
But he's still gonna look tiny compared to Henry Cavill.
Well, Henry Cavill was like 6 feet tall, for God's sakes, and The Rock is like, they're both like titans.
He's gonna look like a little kid next to them.
Well, I mean, like The Rock looks like a kid next to Shaq, so so I think for once it would be kind of nice if someone looks like a kid next to him.
Yeah.
So where does this may sound? Where does this may sound for me even saying this as a DC movie? We can only hope things turn out well.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like DC's really going for a different approach now because they've ditched this whole idea of the DCEU being interconnected. It's now like loosely connected
and dark and gloomy.
Yeah, well, it might be lightening up because I heard Justice League, it's a little bit lighter.
Yes,
we're going for Shazam. The director, he's done like 2 horror movies before this, so I hope that doesn't reflect what Shazam's gonna be like. Because he did Lights Out and Annabelle Creation.
Oh, okay. Well, you're going to need some horror kind of like... We're going against Wolfenstein. I mean, Steppenwolf. I don't know why I said Wolfenstein. Damn Nazis. But we're going against Steppenwolf. We're going to need some horror elements in this. Like... We're talking about a big baddie here.
Yeah, well, Steppenwolf is probably going to get defeated in Justice League.
Of course.
And then Shazam's probably just going to deal with Black Adam.
But I guess he's going to last long enough for him to actually go against Superman?
Probably.
And that's the thing I don't understand about this. Like, when and where would this be taking place? And hopefully it takes place during a time where, like, I hope it's after Justice League when it takes place. I mean, and like...
In the continuity.
Movie, yeah, in the continuity. So that way it could be like, it could be self-contained, but in a way where, like, you could just, like, reference, like, oh, yeah, you know, this situation happened. You know, Superman died.
Or you kind of go, you know how the whole world is supposedly, like, inspired by Superman? And
yeah.
He's, like, now a hero in their eyes.
I was just about to say that.
Just do the whole thing of, like, Superman is still dead during Shazam.
Yeah.
And Billy Batson is inspired, like, his superhero look is inspired by Superman, but... you know, tweak the timeline a little bit so Shazam takes place during the gap between BVS and Justice League.
Yeah, and then it could be like, you know, he'd be like, hey, you can choose your look, just imagine it. And he'd be like, I know exactly what I can possibly look like.
Yeah, and that explains the capeless Black Adam.
Yeah, because that's not something he wanted to be. Oh, I hope The Rock is just like, a cape? What are you, like 10?
Just go.
He's like, no, I'm 12.
Oh man, actually I think the kid's like 15 in real life or something like that.
But Billy Batson is like 12, for God's sakes.
I mean, if Tom Holland can pull off like 15 as a 19-year-old or a 20-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's a Disney Channel kid. He can pull off whatever age they need him to pull off.
Anything else you want to add about Shazam, Bendis, 20th Century Fox?
No, I think I said everything I need to say. I mean, honestly, it was getting kind of dull for like comic book news, so it's pretty exciting to see like what's going on now. I'm really excited that Brian Michael Bendis is leaving Marvel. I mean, it sucks for them, but at the same time, they're not stepping their game up.
Yeah, because now they only have like Mark Waid, Jason Aaron, Dan Slott, whoever writes for whoever's doing X-Men right now. I can't remember off the top of my head. Colin Bunn.
And honestly, I believe one of the big issues why, and this could probably, just be me silly thinking, but yes, this deal could have been made within like 6 months to a year ago, but what was probably the breaking point, and it's probably for a lot of writers, was like the end of Captain America.
Oh yeah.
The end of Secret Empire.
I'm surprised Nick Spencer still has a job right now.
And it's one of those things where I have to wonder, was that his doing? Was that what he wanted the story to go on for? Or it was like, okay, we let you take the reins this entire time, Nick. Now, as Marvel, you have to end it this way. And he's like, that's not what I want. And I honestly wonder, like, if that's how things played out.
Yeah. Like, if you read the first issue of Mark Waid's Captain America, you could tell we're going to ignore that the whole past year happened for Captain America.
Wow.
We're just doing this really classic Captain America story. And
see, that's where I have an issue with everything. Because it's like, as they're trying to speed run through like all these stories, DC is taking their time. Like, I mean, which many people have already talked about. We can do the whole comparison of like Riri and like Duke, where Duke was introduced and it was just like, I mean, he was literally like a throwaway character, but it comes to show you like, how he's slowly grown and become Signal, where Riri, it was like you knew she was being introduced just for the purpose of like replacing like Tony for when he disappears. And it sucks because it's like, as a character, she could have had so much potential, and she'll always to me be known, sadly, as like just another War Machine.
Yeah, she's just another Iron character. She's a palette swap Iron Man character.
Yeah, and that honestly, that sucks because I felt like there could have been more could have been done with her. She had so much more potential, but we don't know what's really going on behind closed doors. That's probably something that like Brian Michael Bendis really wanted to work on, and it's Marvel just like, no, I mean, honestly,
I think the timing's just wrong.
That too, but you can just tell, like, when it comes to like artist creativity, like Marvel don't care. They I don't even think they care anymore, and it's because they're making their money from the movies. Yeah, like that's where they're making their finances from, and they just like, whatever happens, happens. But let's see how things go.
We'll just have to see and find out. So, it's going to be it for today on Nerd Boys Comic Blog. I'm Marco.
Charles!
If you enjoyed this video, you can always leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe.
And if you don't, you a sucker. Do people even say that anymore?
I don't know. Is it 1993 anymore?
Oh, God, no, it's not.
We'll see you guys later.
Peace.